Brad Meltzer is about to join us. He's, of course, author of the I Am series of children's books. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Ben Franklin, Anne Frank, Lucille Ball. So many great books in this series. And his latest is I Am Oprah Winfrey? Let's welcome Brad Meltzer to the place. Hey, Brad, thanks for joining us.
I love you, brother. I was so excited to talk. I knew, I was like, he's going to give me grief for this.
Yeah. You probably saw that coming. Why Oprah Winfrey?
Tell us.
So here's the thing, and I will tell you, when someone said, hey, how about, we always listen to like various suggestions kids give. And when kids come for the I Am books, by the way, they don't give suggestions. They put little demand letters on your desk when you're signing. They're like little terrorists, and they demand what they want. And I was like, I saw a bunch for Oprah. The truth is, as you know, and you've been supportive of these books from the start, I love you for it. The books are designed to give your kids better heroes to look up to, heroes of kindness, compassion, and that thing, character, that thing we've really lost in America today. Is character. It's just, it seems to be something that we're chasing. And I always look at these books as a way to give my kids these things. So I look at what my kids need. I am Amelia Earhart, taught her to be daring and to persevere. I am Abraham Lincoln, taught my daughter and my sons to look out for others. And I looked around at my kids over the past year and a half, and they're anxious. They're really anxious. And they're, self-judging. They read our anxiety. We're all in an age of anxiety. And I realized we needed to do our first book about self-acceptance and self-love. And the other thing is I wanted my daughter to have a female businesswoman. And I was like, I got to find a good female businesswoman. So obviously there's no politics in the book. I don't care, that's never what the books are about.
Yeah.
But what I did find was this story about Oprah. And this is what won me over. Is when Oprah was a little girl that she didn't like her looks so much. She used to sleep with a clothespin on her nose, because she wanted to shrink the size of her nose.
Oh, man.
And as she gets older, she's told that she's too heavy, she's overweight. They tell her hair's the wrong style, her skin is too dark, and they even tell her she cares too much about people. And what happens is she cut one of her early stories, she's covering a family whose house burns down. And again, start of her career. We don't, we spend almost no time on, the majority of the book is not about her fame and fortune, but how she started. And when the house burns down for this family, Oprah goes back the next day without the cameras and brings blankets to the family. And the person who's running her station screams at her and says, what are you doing? You can't be part of the story. And she's like, the story? What about being a good human being? And I want my daughter to know, and I want my sons to know, that Oprah spends her whole life being taught that she's the wrong size, that she cares too much, and there's no such thing. The only person you ever have to be is yourself. And that's the best gift you can give to yourself. And that's what I Am Oprah Winfrey is about. It's giving kids that moment of self-acceptance where, they can say, you know what, however you are right now, it's okay. Because I feel like right now that's where our kids are really struggling. They're going through Facebook, they're going through Instagram, they're just seeing how much, every day everyone's lives is better than their own. And our kids have this anxiety and self-doubt that we really got to push back and say, you know what, you're enough right now how you are.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know she's done some extraordinary things in her life, and of course we don't agree with her politically. But I've met her several times, and she's really a nice person, and a good person, and like you said, a caring person, and so a really good example for kids. So that's great.
And listen, we never do politics in the book. It doesn't make any sense. What really won me over is she is, we all kind of, when someone reaches the top, we tend to love to pick them apart. But when she reaches the top, she becomes, I didn't know this, she's the number one Black philanthropist in history. And
oh, wow.
And her donations now, so many of them will never know where they go because she gives them anonymously. And all these people that give their names and put their names on everything and say, look at me. The fact that her donations go anonymously is, to me, the sign of something. I wish my kids had that humility. Humility, remember when humility was a great American value?
Yeah.
It's not. It's gone, right?
Yeah,
we have to bring it back again and show our kids examples of that. So that's what I Am Oprah Winfrey as a book is for.
Now, when they buy the book, does every kid get a new car like they would in Oprah's audience?
Let me tell you something. I was literally I said to my publisher, I just want to go out and say, you get a book, you get a book. She's like, if you do that, I'll kill you. She's like, I will physically climb through the Zoom thing. We're doing an event tonight, and she's like, do not say that in any book signings because people will take you seriously.
So has Oprah had you on? Are you?
No, no. The funny thing is, it's funny when we did I Am Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall helped us with the book.
Yeah.
We did I Am Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King spent 2 hours on the phone with me.
Oh, that's cool.
Oprah Winfrey's people, and I hope her, all these people came back with all these comments. She obviously has a team, but she gave us pictures of her childhood and new things about her childhood that I don't think anyone else could know. And we have upcoming, one of the new books is I Am Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton has been amazing. So one of the great things that I never thought of when we were doing these books is, just being able to kind of interact with these amazing people. Like, obviously, if I screw up George Washington, what's he going to do to me? Right?
Right.
You screw up Billie Jean King, she's coming to your house with tennis rackets to hit you with it. And so obviously I love the fact that we get to talk to the real people when we can.
So I understand that the books I Am MLK and I Am Rosa Parks were banned by the Pennsylvania School Board. What?
I mean,
why?
Pat, come on. I love this story, right? This is an incredible story. So here's what happens. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, I forget, one of my social media sites, someone DMs me and says, hey, your book, I Am Rosa Parks and I Am Martin Luther King Jr. got banned. And I'm like, that can't be right. It can't be right. Our books are everyone knows universally, good for kids. And here's what happened. A school board in York, Pennsylvania decided to they had a list of 150, almost 200 books that were good for teaching diversity issues and talking to kids about racism. And it was, books by Malala, Sesame Street, how to talk about racism, and what the school board said was, we want to vet these books first. We want to read them first before we give them to kids, which to me is a good idea. You don't just give any old
that's
book
fine.
to a kid. You got to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the trick. The fast one they were pulling was this. That was a year ago. 11 and a half months went by, and they never touched the books. These are books that have about 30 pages in them. You can read them in 5 minutes.
Yeah. They didn't ban them. They just froze them.
They froze the list. But over the year, when you freeze a list, the librarians in the school district go, I don't know if I can use them. The teachers start saying, I don't know if I can use them. I don't want to get in trouble. So what starts as a freeze effectively becomes a ban. And I get a call from Fox News, my friends at Fox News, and they're like, Brad, this is obviously wrong. Come on and talk about it. I get a call from CNN. They say, come on and talk about this wrong. When Fox News and CNN agree, you screwed up. Right? They know in that moment they screwed up. And the best part was they invited me to come and speak at the school board meeting. They were going to have an open comment session about it. I was the first one called on. I read passionately from I Am Rosa Parks. I read the part that says, I am not a famous businesswoman. I'm not a famous scientist. I'm just an ordinary person, and I'm proof that there's no such thing as an ordinary person. And I think I've saved the day. I've read from the book. And after me, all the community starts speaking. Angry mothers who are like, how can you deny our kids these books? It's Dr. King and Rosa Parks. A member of the military. I used to go to this school. I'm embarrassed that the school board would not allow these books to be read. And then the students start speaking. 16, 17-year-olds in passion going, these are books with kids that look like me. And by the time they were done, they were the real heroes that day. The school board unanimously decided to unfreeze the list, to let the ban drop. And, but we should talk about it. The thing that it just makes me crazy is we're going to see this keep happening. And I know everyone loves to scream critical race theory and say, you're trying to indoctrinate my children. But as Fox News realized so quickly when I was talking on there is, you push it too far and you're suddenly book banners. And to me, when you're banning books, you're on the wrong side of history. You're on the wrong side of history.
No question. Yeah. You've written what? Close to 30 of these now?
So I Am Oprah Winfrey is our 25th book.
25th, okay.
We told our publisher that the 25th anniversary means she has to buy us cars now, but she didn't buy us.
If you had to choose just one, which one would be your favorite?
So I love I Am Jim Henson and I Am Walt Disney because they teach my youngest son to be creative. I love I Am Abraham Lincoln because it teaches you to be a good person. But for me personally, I don't think there's any more important book we've done than I Am Anne Frank. And I think when you look at millennials today who don't know that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust, that don't know basic facts about the Holocaust.
In some way, sometimes they're told that didn't happen. In some cases,
they're told that didn't happen. I mean, I'm sure you saw the case yesterday of the of the school that said if you teach the Holocaust, then you have to teach the other side.
Yes.
You have to teach the Nazi side. I'm like, there's no other side here. Like, there's just has to.
Gosh.
We cannot other side Nazis.
Really?
Like that's just not how it works. And I sadly, the other books are really important for lessons that happened in the past and we can use today. And it's sad that the way anti-Semitism is running right now, it's a lesson we need today. So Anne Frank just became, I read the book with a Holocaust survivor. We did a story time. It's free on our website. You can go, see it. But it's me and him reading it together with someone who lived through the Holocaust. And I don't think there's anything more important from the I Am series that we worked on.
Yeah, and that teaching the other side of the Holocaust thing, that was really close to home. That happened here in Southlake. Yeah. Which is incredible that it would happen in that community.
And listen, what we're seeing, and what we're seeing is you're seeing all these school boards and all these parents, because they're home for the pandemic, they have seen what their kids are studying in a way that they never probably have before. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. You should be involved with your children's school. Don't blame everything on your kid's school. You have a responsibility to your kid. And what they're doing is saying, but I don't like this, and I don't like that. And I'm all for anyone using their democratic voice and speaking up. But the problem is that everyone is now backseat driving their teachers. And anyone who has a teacher in their family knows teachers are not trying to indoctrinate your kids. That's the word you'll always hear. They're going to indoctrinate our kids. But that word is designed to make you afraid. If I said to you, you want anyone to indoctrinate your kids? That you go, no, of course not. Who would? But if I said, hey, we want to teach kids to think about how it is to have a different experience than your own so we can all maybe get along better, people go, yeah, I'd like that. And it's just a framing. And so I think what we're seeing is when you watch this wedge issue designed to drive us apart and make us hate each other, we eventually get those examples like you just said there, where you're getting other sideism for Nazis, where you're getting people who are just like demanding whatever the heck they want because they're pissed and they're worried and they're fearful because the world is such a mess today. But the solution is not to go in and say, you know better than your teacher, your school, your everything else out there, because you just have a feeling that day when you woke up that, maybe we should listen to the other side.
How long before we see the I Am Jeffy book?
We've been working long and hard on that book.
Have you?
Because the inspiration there is, I can't even imagine what you would be inspiring young kids to do.
I'll send you some pictures.
Right before you introduced me, you had the Jeffy's commercial for chewing the fat. And it's literally like the most embarrassing clip you can find of him talking about sitting on your butt theory. It was, and I was just like, I love you guys. That's the clip you pay for him.
Okay, so what's next in Brad Meltzer's life? You got TV shows, another book coming out. You got a thriller coming out soon.
I love you for that. So we, in February are the next two heroes. You're going to love them. We're doing Malala, and we're doing, I've been waiting to do this forever, Muhammad Ali, who was just so amazing. And so we're doing that. And then in March is the big one. We have the new thriller, first thriller that I've done in almost 4 years. It's my 25th anniversary as a writer.
Nice.
And we're coming out with the lightning rod. And the lightning rod, I would just say she strikes like a mother, man. She is an amazing character, and you'll see who she is. The lightning rod comes in March, and then right after the lightning rod in, I forget, June or September, we're doing I Am Dolly Parton, which I can't wait. It's so really good.
You're doing nothing.
And
you got nothing.
A lot of sitting around.
And then I'm going to take. We're doing I Am Pay, and then I'm going to take a nap. Is what I'm going to do.
I don't blame you. You deserve one. All right. Where can people get their hands on all of these, like the I Am series and the thriller books and all things Brad Meltzer?
You can go to Amazon. You can go to bradmeltzer.com. You can go in any local bookstore. There's great bookstores, of course, everywhere. What I love is that people take, I love that they buy I Am Oprah Winfrey, but I love that they use it and they say, I'll take George Washington, I'll take Rosa Parks, give me Dr. King and Abraham Lincoln. And they build libraries now of real heroes for their kids, their grandkids, their nieces and nephews. In fact, we even started a subscription service so people could get them, and you get 2 a month. They come to your house. So it's been amazing to watch people fight back against the cynicism that they see in America today. and show their kids a little bit of light, because I think right now our kids all need a little bit of light.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And we'll post these links on Twitter at Pat Unleash so people can find them easy later.
Thanks, Brad. Talk to you again soon.
Love you guys. Thanks
all right,
so much.
You too. Bye.